Okay, I'm going to go through the Rolodex record. Darlene here again. So I've logged onto the system. I'm in the main dashboard, which you can also get there by clicking on the icon there. And then Rolodex. So when you first get set up, we try to do a massive import from CSV files so that you don't have to do a lot of data input, although you do need to get in and tweak all of the records a little bit. So the Rolodex is the heart of the database. The Rolodex records are defined with these roles. There are categories, but maybe the categories, you could do a Christmas list if you wanted to in here. So it's basically just a list of folks with, that fit that category. And then any languages that, you might work with. And then any attributes. So you can search by, any of this stuff. Let's basically start from the beginning. And that would be to create a new Rolodex record. So let's go Carl Ives. And then it creates the record. I could add this as a category if I wanted to. That's how I would do that. The summary is everything that you really want to have at a glance when you first pull the record up. So let's say Carl Ives is a language access professional, and you see that his schedule populates here. So let's say he's not available on Saturday and Sunday. Then we would very simply put that in. Scheduled time off is for like vacations and stuff. And I like to have this kind of information in here, of course, for individuals who you 1099. You need, various tax IDs. And then when you set up your regions, you'll also attribute various people to those regions so that you're not sending people 200 or 300 miles out. So let's put Carl, let's go in the West, the Western region. And the XREF really is a cross-reference. So, if this was a customer, you might want to cross-reference a requester Rolodex record. Carl may have a business entity because he might be a freelance interpreter. And then you may want Carl's personal information and his business information in here, depending on how you're structured business-wise. So what you would do is you would just add it, and then you would save it. And it would link Carl to that other Rolodex record. Okay, so let's put Carl's information in here. Let's see, 2407. Bensworth Drive, Acton. He's going to be in the West. He's going to be in California. 93510. And we're putting him in the West. So these will match if that's what I need. And this is going to be both billing and a default address. And his contact information, let's go I'm going to put his email in, and I'm going to put my email. So if we use this contact, I'll get the communications. And I'm going to put it in as preferred and default. Oh, okay, yeah. I'm going to put it in as both. I thought it wasn't going to let me do that, but it did. Okay. And then attributes is what are Carl's qualifications? Carl is a male. Carl is RID certified. Let's say he's also a certified medical interpreter. And away we go. Preferred, let's say Carl prefers to work with certain other interpreters. Or he doesn't want to work with certain people. Could be a consumer, could be a customer, could be another LAP. People have struggles. So you could go ahead and add here a do not send, and it will not allow Carl to be put on a job with the person that you have designated. Or let's go Darlene Geyer. He prefers to work with me. So preferreds are in here. And then documents, any documents, certifications, insurances, contracts, any documents would go here. It just gives you a simple uploader. You go to your hard drive, grab whatever files are relevant. This is probably the most time-consuming part of setting up files. So is getting all of your documents in there. And then pay rates, cancellation hours, I would say, 24 hours here. And then add a rate. His service is sign language. His language is American Sign Language. Let's just go standard. And let's say he's in there at $50 an hour. And that's it. That's how you would pretty much set up an LAP. Rolodex record. Now, if I wanted to set up a customer Rolodex record, I would just come in here and I would go Lawson Dentistry. And then I would add them as a customer. The role is very important in the Rolodex. It helps the system to make decisions. And so let's say that Lawson has a individual, Monica Reeves, and her relation is a requester. So she's the person making requests for Lawson Dentistry. Monica already has a Rolodex record. So if you've got a new customer and new people associated with that customer, you may have to set up several Rolodex records and designate them as, accordingly. So Lawson Dentistry has 3 locations. Let's first go here. Let me look up a location. Let's go 2145 Palmdale Boulevard. And that's Palmdale, California. And we're going to put it in the West region. I don't know what the zip code is there. I have an idea, but I don't know what it is. Usually I would go online for mock records and choose a real address so the system can geolocate well. But for now, I'm just going to give it an address. And then let's say they have another location. Let's go All right, and that would be 2145 East Avenue K, and that would be Lancaster, California. Don't know the zip, but it's in the west. And we're going to bill the main office, so I'm not going to put the billing here. This is where the assignments will take place for this location. And Monica is still the contact there, or the requester for all of their offices. But let's say that we want to have an on-site contact. So let's go office manager, and this would be we'll use Monica, I guess. Well, Monica Reese, autofill, and preferred. I'm putting my information in there so that any communications go to me. And we're going to designate the email. Okay. And we could have as many locations as, we might need. And then attributes. What kind of interpreters do they want as a business? Of course, this is irrelevant, but if it was a school, they may require all of the interpreters to have a TB test. So for this doctor, they just want nationally certified people. They're good with that. Requirements really have to do with, the requirements are yellow on the customer side. The attributes are on the interpreter side. I'm in the development part of the database, so it lists both. But for customers, you would fill out the requirement part. It's yellow, and they want national certification. And we don't have any preferred yet. They're new. My contract would go in here. Any dispatches for them would go here. Whatever I might need. If they're working from a purchase order, this is where that information would go. And what does Loss and Dentistry want on their invoices? A description of the job, the invoice reference number, location, address, request dates and times, consumers, requesters, and anything else that we can think of. And then the bill rates, the cancellation policy for them, let's make it 48 hours. Let's add a rate, and this is going to be sign language. And let's just go standard, it's easy. And we're going to charge them $85 an hour. And for non-business, let's say it's after hours from 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. It's another $10 differential. If it's emergency, it's $20. And holidays, let's go $30. And this will be in addition to the base rate. So depending on how you structure your rates. And then you have a handy dandy rate sheet here as well. So if you need to know, what did I quote them? What's the rate sheet that I sent to them? If you have various rate sheets, some people do for different areas and so on, then that's where you would find it. And that's it for putting in a Rolodex record for a customer and an LAP.